Welcome to Read, Eat, Travel, Repeat, the book club and podcast with your hosts, Sarah, Kit, and Maryanne. Three friends who talk about all things books, food, and travel.
Welcome, readers, eaters, and travelers to Read, Eat, Travel, Repeat, the podcast and book club where books take us beyond the page. I'm Sarah.
I'm Kit.
And I'm Maryanne. Today we'll be talking about the books we've read recently and books we think you should add to your TBR pile.
This episode is spoiler-free, so if a book you haven't read is mentioned, don't worry, we're not going to spoil it for you. And as always, we are adult readers who say adult things, so you have been warned. All right. Let's dig in.
Who's going to go first?
Who wants to go first?
I always go first because I'm on the top of the list, but
yeah,
I don't have to go first.
Switch it up.
I have questions, though, but yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Who's going to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
We can start out unhinged and then get more.
There we go. Okay.
We can gain hinges as we go this time instead of going
slowly
off the
downhill.
rails.
We're going to start at the bottom and go all the way up.
And we're going to build. We're going to start at the top because the first book I read for the month is The Scorpio Races, which I'm going to say almost nothing about. But if you would like to know all of my thoughts and feelings about this book, please go listen to our last episode because we talk about it at length. It is by Maggie Stiefvater, and it is my favorite book of all time. And then I went and reread A Knight in Shining Armor by Jude Devaraux. This took me forever to get through for like no good reason. I read it for the first time 15 years ago.
Right.
When we were all Book of the Month Club moderators. And then we talked about it at one of our previous recordings, and then there it was, like a shining beacon on my library bookshelf. And I think it holds up better than I thought it was going to.
Okay. I want to reread it too. Yeah. I'm going to put it on my reread list because it's probably been 15 years since I've read it.
Definitely some pieces that are like dated because obviously it's like set in the 80s and you're like, that's rough. But I think the heart of the story like still holds, and Douglas and Nicholas are like the best mismatched pairing because I don't want to say they're both like grumpy, but they're both like what the fucking their way through this story. Right. And it's hilarious. I forgot how funny they were as a duo, and I was really pleasantly surprised with how this book went.
I remember I read this first, of course, probably in the late 80s when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And I loved the name Douglas.
Yes.
Douglas for a girl.
Name.
I was like, this is the coolest name ever.
Yeah.
I don't know why that makes me think of it.
And they're really, really funny together. And I had kind of forgotten how hilarious their interactions were. So highly recommend going back and reading that. And then I had 3 arcs this month. They are all from Edelweiss. The first one is by Elizabeth Eulberg, who we
I want to hear. I'm so excited to hear about this.
So this one is called Love Story, the Taylor's version. It is a middle grade, just kind of like contemporary fiction book about a group of 4 girls that are all named Taylor. They have different like nicknames. Like one of them goes by Tay, one goes by like TS. So you don't really run the risk of getting them all mixed up. Mm-hmm. And it's a series, which is exciting. And what I really liked about it, one was that each of the Taylors has like a whole, like fully fleshed out personality and story arc.
Oh, fun.
Sometimes when you have like multiple characters, especially in a middle grade, there's like the main character and then the supporting characters. Elizabeth did like a phenomenal job making each one of these kids like a fully fleshed out character, which means like if I put this on my library shelf, every girl would take this off my shelf. I fully believe that because at least one of the Taylors is them.
Right.
Like they would be, I'm Tay or I'm TS. It's so cute. I want to definitely grab like the final published copy because there's always some little changes and stuff. So I always like to compare like how'd the art compare to like the published copy on the shelf. But I love this book. It is so super cute. So shout out to Elizabeth Eulberg because she was one of our first like authors that we worked with.
Yes. I love her too. I was thinking the first time I ever met her was when I met Stephanie Meyer. Because she used to be Stephanie Meyer's publicist.
Oh, wow. That's right.
And when I went to the Oprah show to meet her, and I always feel bad because when I talked to her after that, I feel like I was like, hi, I'm Sarah. Okay, bye. Oh, my God, Stephanie.
Yeah, but then we saw her
at Elizabeth.
Yeah, we've met her a couple times at NCCE, I think. And I met her at ALA.
What was her first book that we first read?
Lonely Hearts.
Lonely Hearts Club. And then Prom and Prejudice.
Prom and Prejudice. I love Prom and Prejudice.
Every girl is in want of the perfect dress.
And she's a middle grades author.
She's
and
got
her middle grade. I love her middle grades.
Shelby Holmes books.
Yes. I love her. I don't normally read middle grades because I teach high school, but I really love her stuff.
She's one of my like always buy for like when I'm filling my middle grade library and even elementary, because her books are solid for upper elementary too. But she's an always buy. Like, I don't even need to know what's about to happen. I'm going to buy it.
And Prom and Prejudice, obviously being like Pride and Prejudice, which we all love.
Yeah.
The main character plays the piano.
Yeah.
And she plays Rachmaninoff, which is like my favorite.
I remember freaking out about that.
Elizabeth and I talked about it. I was like, oh my God, can you play it? And she's like, I can play it a little bit. I was like, oh my God, I can play it a little bit too.
Yeah. She's one of my favorite people, and she's from Wisconsin and went to Syracuse University.
That's right.
So we always,
wow.
I always feel like there's authors that I like
cheesehead.
Talk to online and stuff, and we talk about cheese a fair bit. Elizabeth Gilbert. We discuss cheese.
I usually get a happy birthday from her every year because I share a birthday with Sir Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
and she remembers that. So
she's one of my favorites. So this book is awesome.
I would like to read this one.
But also, if you're listening and you haven't read any of her other books, get on it because they're phenomenal.
Doesn't matter your age. Doesn't matter.
They're so good.
I feel like I found a copy of the Lonely Hearts Club at the library in their used bookstore to put in my little free library. And I was like, Elizabeth Gilbert, yes. I was so excited. Yeah. I found hers and also, my name, it's Raining Cupcakes. Who is that?
Lisa Schroeder.
Lisa Schroeder.
I
found one of her books in the,
I
had that in my little free library too.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's that book it's on the shelf right over here. That's another one that I reread. Not as frequently as Scorpio Races, but I do pull it out when I want to cry.
Yeah.
Like it's a good I'm
the other one she wrote was, I can't think of the name of it now, but
Lisa
half
Schroeder.
of it was in verse and half of it was in prose. And it's about a girl and a boy who like meet each other on the beach the last day or the day before. Maybe it's called the day before.
I'm looking it up because I can't remember.
And I loved that one too. She's another.
Chasing Brooklyn. It's the day before, Chasing Brooklyn was phenomenal too. Yeah, she's another one. The Bridge from Me to You. Amazing.
Oh yeah,
she's definitely another one of my like. If a book is coming out, I'm gonna buy it.
I'm gonna buy it from her. Yeah, the auto buy authors.
I follow her on Facebook. I don't know if she's still writing or not. I know she was had a real job for a while.
And I will say too, like this is related, unrelated. She came to the Rochester Teen Book Fest. Years ago, like probably like 10 or so years ago. And she was so sweet to all my students and was one of the best presentations because she presented on writing poetry and she was just so like quietly passionate, I guess is how I would put it. Like she wasn't this big, huge, I saw A.S. King speak the same day and Lisa McMahon, Simone Alcalise was like, there was so many of these authors that we had worked with that were there. And they were all these big, big personalities. And she just kind of like very quietly like taught the kids all how to write poetry and like made them all feel like accomplished, like little poets. And I was like, it was great. Like it was such a difference in kind of just like presentation energy. Yeah. But like she hooked them all immediately.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So she was a phenomenal presentation. I miss going to that kind of stuff.
I do too. We need to do that again.
Sidetrack.
Side note.
My next arc was Blackthorn by J.T. Gessinger. This is my favorite trope, which is the lovers to enemies to lovers trope. Really, really well done. It's also kind of like gothic vibes and deals in like generations old blood feud that like there's secrets. And what I really appreciated about this book is that the secrets were layered in really well. So just when you thought you knew what was like really going down, like something new would come in and you're like, well, God damn it. Like, and I feel like this is a trope you don't see that often. This was Grumpy. There's no sunshine involved. They are both just fucking miserable, but it's written in a way that is funny to read. Do you know what I mean? So like, you're like, oh my God, you guys are so miserable all the time. and they're just like going at each other. And part of what I love about the lovers to enemies to lovers is that you have all of those secrets that like you can pull out to like do the most damage possible. And they are definitely using those for that reason.
So, I just pulled it up on Goodreads because you know, got the core. I'm like, okay. And the tropes they have: revenge, touch her and die.
Yeah.
Shadier than shade hero. Forbidden romance, grumpy, plot twist galore, Beauty and the Beast, enemies to lovers to enemies to question mark.
Yeah. It's definitely like you're happy with the ending, but you're like, okay.
Adding it. Oh, it's on Kindle Unlimited right now.
Yes, it is.
For
it is
$0.
I'm gonna talk about this one more later, but
okay.
The whole book was just kind of like a really nice balance of like humor and like really serious.
Okay.
And they did a great content list at the beginning. So like if you're someone that likes to read the content list to make sure that the book is, because it is dark, like that you are okay to read it.
Yeah.
The author does a great job there. Then we get into Slightly Unhinged, which is He Knows When You're Awake by Alta Hensley. And that was also on Ada Wise. This one is probably not the book for me. I'm not a huge fan. It's a billionaire dark romance set at Christmas time. I don't mind a morally gray character, obviously. I'm not a huge fan of the stalker trope.
Yeah.
And that's what this book is. I did like the way the author wrote it, though. Like, it was really well written. And it added in a little mystery instead of it just being like, I'm a creepy stalker. Like, you were trying to figure out, okay, but why are you this guy?
Yeah.
So I did appreciate that it wasn't just you're a stalker. It's like there's some reasons behind everything. So I did appreciate that. And there's tons of people out there who love a good like stalker romance.
Oh yeah.
This one would be a solid entry. Like it's well done.
We all come from Twilight. We at one time
literally
thought that was okay.
Like we're like, and then he watched me sleep.
And that's so cool. He stuck it and watched
so romantic. Yeah. So if that's your storyline, like this is a solid one. And then we get to the book that y'all picked for me for last month. This is Full Sack by Layla Faye. Absolutely nothing could have prepared me for how this book went. First of all, I listen back to all of our podcasts because I like
I do too.
Like,
make sure we did okay or we don't sound stupid, right?
Well, I'm always like we record and then we like go to the next thing, and sometimes I forget, and like I am entertained by us. So, like, I go back and listen.
When I listen to us, I laugh.
We are funny.
I'm like, we're funny.
So when we picked this book, I said I'm going to be really salty if I don't find out why the main character's name is Raccoon, and you do find out why his name is Raccoon.
Okay.
And Sarah, you were correct. This book is long enough to give me background context and be super weird and unhinged and not feel like you're losing a bit.
Okay, good.
He's named Raccoon because the supernatural element that makes him like the powerful being that he is Japanese mythology, and it's a raccoon dog spirit, which is like a shape-shifting spirit that can grant wishes. So there is like I was that's a good reason. However, I'm going to apologize deeply to everybody as I explain how this book worked. And I wrote, if you look at my notes, it says, I'm not typing this out. Please talk about Raccoon's full sack here. And when
I'm
my
scared.
mind was thinking about a sack,
oh God,
I was thinking about Santa's sack. And that's where he would like grant people's wishes from. But no, it's his ball sack.
Oh God. You did not think it was going to be his ball sack after?
I thought it was going to be. So let me
my brain completely went the dirty route. And I was like,
I thought his ball sack was going to be involved. I did not think that the way this works. So here we go. He grants wishes because that's part of his mythological gift to everyone. But the only way he can grant wishes is if he gets off. So someone's got to get him off. So he exchanges wishes for blowjobs. And here's where it really lost me. I was like, okay, porn star. But so our main character, her cat is dying. It's very sad. He has cancer. and the cat needs to be saved. So she needs medicine or a cure for her cat. And he's like, I can, but you're going to have to pay me on your knees. And she was like, I'm a virgin and I don't know how to do this. And he was like, it's okay. We'll figure it out. And then he's like, I think I'm in love with her immediately. And he's like, I'm going to your family's holiday party with you. Shenanigans ensue. The book is hilarious. However, when he comes, I apologize again. This is going to get us censored so fast. His ball sack enlarges to hold whatever it is that the person has wished for, and then it shoots out his dick. And if that's the size of a toaster, then it's the size of a fucking toaster. You heard me. Wait. There's a fucking toaster in his ball sack. Just a bit. And he steps away, turns to the side. Everything thickens to impossible proportions, and the next thing she knows, a toaster flew out of it and landed on her bed.
But who wishes for a toaster for Christmas?
Who wishes for a toaster?
It was like a demonstration of his powers.
Like a BMW or something, you know?
And he can do that. That was a demonstration of his powers, though. And she was like, oh my God, it's a nice mint green color with a small black heart printed on the corner. And she was like, oh my God, I love this. She was very hesitant at first. And I'm going to talk about this one more later because there's a scene that really, really connects to one of our questions. In a way that's both horrifying and amusing. So we're gonna revisit Full Sack by Layla Faye. But it's hilarious in ways that like are probably embarrassing to admit. But like you read it and you're like, oh, that's okay. Like, sure. All right, who's up?
I'll go. So yes, also read Scorpio Races. Don't need to say anything about that because you should just listen to our episode. And then I read The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. I liked this. It's time travel, but much cleaner than The Time Traveler's Wife.
I hated a time travel.
And I didn't like that one either.
It was better. I thought it was much better. It's a curse, a time traveling curse that affects the Farrow women.
Okay.
But there's only so many times. It's all explained. But I did like it better. It was very interesting. I wasn't sure at first. When I first started reading it, I was like, oh God, is this going to be another time travel? Because that same thing, I didn't love that one. But I really did like this one. So if you're kind of into that, it's a good one. And then I listened to the rom-commers, Catherine Center, because I needed a book to listen to. And I was like, I'm going to go on Libby because I don't have any credits coming from Audible. Oh, Catherine Center. I want to start reading her. This is one I don't have. No, it is the one I just bought. So I bought the paperback of it, but forgot about it. And so listened to it instead. I'm like, oh, whoops. Well, good thing I loved it because now
I did that with Truth or Beard last month.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I thought I had a different one. I thought I had it's the one being made into the movie, the new one that The Bodyguard. The Bodyguard. I thought that's the one that I had. And so
I like The Bodyguard. I like the rom-commers too. The rom-com is really cute too.
It's super cute. I do love her writing.
It's funny. Isn't that the one where she talks about she wants to be kissed, like the lean in kiss?
She's wants to be a movie script writer, or she did at one time, and then she takes care of her dad, and then she gets this job rewriting a script for somebody who writes basically psychotic action adventures. I did love this one. It's a he falls first.
Yeah,
I loved that. And I really liked the main character. I liked Charlie, the main character, a lot.
I love Catherine Center. It's they're very happy. Her social media is super happy. Yes. It's closed door. There's zero unhingedness, but they're just
there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
I know. I'm just saying,
it's just the right amount of romance. Too.
Yeah, but they're just happy books for the most part. Yep. One of my favorites of hers is Things You Save in a Fire, because it has this it's one of her earlier books, and it's about this female firefighter who ends up moving from Austin to Massachusetts to help her mom, who she's been estranged with. She's tough, and she doesn't have like any relationships. Ooh. And we find out because there is a trauma that she doesn't allude to. But the whole book is like, it has this really cool theme of forgiveness. And it was like the first Catherine Center book I read, and I really liked it. And I foolishly recommended it to my book club, and they always complain I pick predictable books. So they thought it was too predictable. I just think it's just a happy book, but
happy is okay.
yeah. And
hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
I really like the theme of forgiveness. So basically you got to forgive people if you want to get past shit, you know?
So then I picked up the Amalfi Curse.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to ask you about too. Yeah, go ahead.
I did not love it. I wanted to love it because I've been to the Amalfi Coast. I've been to Capri and Sorrento. I haven't gone over to Postino, which is where it takes place. I was expecting a lot more of Italy in it, like a lot more description of Italy. And sometimes, you know what, because I've been there, I wanted to like feel like I was there again.
Right.
And I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel like it screamed Amalfi Coast to me. And it was interesting because it's kind of about witches. Like the curse is a sea witch kind of curse.
The strega.
Yeah, the strega, which I was like, oh, I know what that is in Italian. That means witch. you know? But it was just kind of disappointing. People were like, I thought it was her best one. And maybe that's because I've been there, and so I was expecting more. Like I don't know.
That's where I usually fall down with books. If it's someplace that I've been, or I have like a big like expertise in like a topic, which I know Maryanne, you have the same issue with some history books sometimes. Where you're like, that's not
how it
that doesn't feel correct or factually correct.
Right.
Yeah.
But one thing I was just going to say is Sarah Penner. I've seen her twice in person now. She lives here in the Tampa Bay area. And I've seen her. She was doing an interview with Kristen Harmel over at Oxford Exchange, across from UT in Tampa.
Yeah.
And Sarah Penner is so well spoken in person. I could listen to her talk all day long. I did not love the Amalfi Curse either. I mean, I liked it, but didn't love it.
The writing is good.
Yeah,
like her writing is good. It just didn't make me.
I'm just not big for like the magical realism kind of stuff. You know, it's like, I don't know. And then like there's like the dual timelines.
Yeah, I was going to say it jumps around the dual timelines. And there were times when I thought I wanted more on the old timeline than we were getting.
Yeah. And then
like I felt like we got the new timeline. It was very interesting because she's an underwater archaeologist. Is there anything else that they're called?
A special word for that?
She like explores shipwrecks, and so there's all these shipwrecks along the Amalfi Coast, and so that's what that was really cool.
The strega are the ones who are causing the shipwrecks, and
yep.
But
so the concept was really cool. I really wanted to love it. I just wasn't.
And there's her first book.
Did you read The Lost Apothecary? That's her other big one.
I did, and I don't remember why I read it. I don't remember if I did it for
I would like to read that. I would like.
It was interesting, and she's writing a sequel to that.
Oh, good.
I saw her at the library probably in October at the Largo Library near me. I went with some ladies from my book club, and I just love listening to her. She's really interesting to listen to, and part of like the reason she wrote the Amalfi Curse is because she and her husband are both scuba divers, and I guess so she travels a lot.
She had a lot of knowledge about scuba, and
she's really interesting to listen to, and but her books I like but don't love, but mainly it's because of the genre more than the writing.
You know? Her writing was very good. So the last one I read, Betting on You by Lynn Painter, another one of her YA. Okay. Lynn Painter goes back and forth. Some of them are YA, some of them are very
not.
I loved this book. It was so cute. I'm always looking for romances to recommend to my students that are closed door. This one is Bailey and Charlie, and they meet in Alaska on a plane to Kansas. Bailey's parents are getting divorced. Her dad lives in Juneau. And they end up, it's the whole enemies to lovers kind of thing. Yeah. And it was so cute. And she's just so good at writing those, those teenage feelings when you first kiss somebody or you first really realize. And they have good banter because they're both very snarky to each other because they think that this love-hate. He calls her glasses at first because she wears glasses, and he calls her, or she calls him Mr. Perfect because he's wearing, or not Mr. Perfect because he's wearing a t-shirt that says not Mr. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
When they meet or something. So they're very funny banter, but also great for teens. I feel like if their parents are going through a divorce, because there's a lot of discussion between the two of them of what it's like and how they feel when they're their parent meets somebody new and how they struggle with that. So I thought that was really well done, especially for teenagers, to be like, that's kind of what brings them closer as friends, is them being like, I know how you feel. I know how you feel replaced, kind of thing. And I thought I love when YA authors can do that, put that message in for the kids, but also make it super fun and cute. So that's all I read, like literally 5 books. All right, Maryanne.
It's you.
Okay. It's funny, is like nothing really stood out when I was trying to remember what I had to go through my Goodreads and my NetGalley shelf to figure out what the hell I read in November. And part of it was too, because I was traveling for 11 or 12 days of the month. But okay, so I read A Little Holiday Fling by Farah Heron. She writes romance. She's Canadian, and her characters are usually Muslim, and which is interesting. And this is a book about, it's a super cute, neat, cute, grumpy sunshine, where this like bright, cheery, happy retail clerk, like in not like high end retail clerks. She's not like working at Target, and she buys even though she's Muslim, she buys a Christmas tree, and she's trying to drag it home, and it's way too big. And this grumpy guy and looking like a lumberjack helps her with it. And there's like their meet cute, and then but come to find out he's really a doctor, or he's a dermatologist, I think. Anyhow, it was really cute. It's set in Toronto. They ate a lot of really interesting restaurants, and lots of fun food were mentioned in it.
Nice.
It was very cute. Some spice, nothing unhinged. No toasters.
No toasters.
No. I read it as an arc, but it came out in October. I read it in November, but it had already come out as an arc. But it was really cute. It was fun to see people, because like for me, like I celebrate Christmas, but I not the Christian, the religious aspects of it. And so it was fun to see like Muslims who like love to go out and do all this Christmas stuff, even though they don't celebrate the holiday. But
I have Jewish friends that do the same thing.
Yeah. And so
they love the Christmas trees and the
the kind of like
and the Christmas carols. My one friend loves Christmas carols.
And it was like fun too. Like I like sometimes reading books that are set in Canada, because it's like just a reminder that we're not the only North Americans.
Yes.
And so I
grass
kind of
might
like
be greener over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So that was very
It might be.
Another one that I read that was an arc is by an author named Kayla Olson. And this girl, Sadie, who I don't remember, I don't think they ever say what her job really is, but she also does a little influencing on the side, like this post vlogs and stuff like that. And she thinks her boyfriend's about to propose, and instead he tells her that he's going on this wilderness trek for like 10 days. And she's like, she's not invited. In other words, he's breaking up with her, because he thinks that she's too much. She can't handle it. She's too high maintenance.
Yeah.
So she decides she's going to prove him wrong, and she signs up for it, only to find out he missed the deadline and he never signed up. So she ends up
she's in it.
She's in it. And some of it I rolled my eyes at, because like all the stuff that they said she had in her backpack, like she shows up in like white Adidas sneakers instead of hiking boots, and she's so unprepared. And like Thorne, who's the grumpy wilderness guide, he's like, oh my God, this one's just gonna be a problem. But needless to say, he sees her perseverance. She's not willing to give up. She's not willing to let her ex-boyfriend prove that she's going to fail at this. And so she doesn't give up. But like some of it, I rolled my eyes out. Like she's got this whole like French press coffee kit with her and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, right. You're going to carry all that shit in your backpack, you know, but that's not realistic. But it was very cute. I enjoyed it a lot. And I liked her journey. I kind of hate sometimes. Feel like that whole her journey just got. I feel like sometimes that term just gets so overused. But I like the way that she went from being this kind of person you wouldn't take seriously to somebody who didn't give up and proved herself, and she learned to enjoy things that she never thought she would enjoy. So like that one a lot.
So, as a side note, interruption, the French press coffee thing, they make them. And this might not be what the girl has in the
Yeah.
story, but Stanley makes a French press mug coffee maker thing. So it's only like it's small. And people who camp and like backpack or do like bike like camping or whatever will actually pack them. And I personally am always like, really? That's what you're putting in your bag? But like for
Yeah,
people
right.
who are like really into coffee.
Well, the funny is that some of the other guys on the trek are also are coffee bros. They have like a coffee business.
Oh, cool.
And
Yes.
so they have the expensive coffee and the fancy coffee maker too. So they end up sharing their coffee. For one of my book clubs, I read The Storied Life of A.J. Fikri, which is just was just kind of sweet and sad about this guy who owns a bookstore in Massachusetts. Because for my one book club, we had like a um, kind of like a calendar, like for the month of November, we wanted a book that was set in Massachusetts, like Thanksgiving, the
Yeah.
Pilgrims, Massachusetts. And I found this one. It was just kind of sweet and sad. And it's really about how books can change your life. It's just like he and his wife own a bookstore, and then she dies, and he's sad, and he's like drinking himself to death. But through his bookstore and the people that he knows through his bookstore, um, he comes back to life, and like somebody leaves a baby on his doorstep, and he ends up adopting her, and it was just super sweet, very, very, a little bit sad, but it gave us some good conversation, so that was good. What
I
else
read
did I
that
read?
too. I read that book too, and I liked it.
I wanted a different ending because
You
I
do,
like.
but it's one of those. Is it the ending that you want, or the
Yeah,
ending
I
that
know.
needed to happen? And
I know.
it's very cyclical. Like
Yeah.
it's that perfect circle. Um, there's a movie on it now too on
Yeah,
Netflix.
that's what somebody in my book club was saying.
So
I
I
haven't watched
watched
it.
it too, but I really liked the characters in that book when I
Oh
read
yeah,
it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the same author. Is that Gabrielle?
I think
What's her
so.
name?
Zevin.
Zevin, who wrote Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow,
Yeah, I haven't read that. Is it
which
good?
I hated. So,
Oh, okay.
well,
Hard
people
no.
loved it. It takes place like
It's like
a
Gamers, isn't it, or
gaming
something?
designer, and I just
Yeah.
it felt like it dragged to me, but I wanted to read other of her books, and
Yeah, so that
I
I
was
mean,
like,
that was
oh, I'm
cute.
curious. Yeah, it's
And
cute.
my book club mostly liked it, so that was good. Um, we also my other book club at work read Diavola by Jennifer Thorne, which is about this extended family, like grandma and grandpa and 3 adult children, and 2 of the adult children have the one is married with children, the other one has this pretentious ass boyfriend. The guy it's a gay couple, the brother. And then like the one sister's not married, but everybody kind of like picks on her, like she screws
Mm,
everything up. And
mm.
they rent this like VRBO and ends up as like haunted. And I didn't love it because it's really not my genre. Somebody else picked it.
Yeah.
Again, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't my thing. Like just sometimes when I start getting into like supernatural stuff, my eyes glaze over and I lose track of what's supposed to be happening and
Right.
when. So nothing, but like some of the other ladies in my book club who like the ones who picked it, they loved it. They gave it 5 stars. For me, I was like, I enjoyed it, but I probably wouldn't choose to read anything
Yeah.
else by the same author. I read A Spark of Life by Jodi Picoult,
Okay.
which is about a hostage situation at an abortion clinic that a pro-lifer takes people hostage at an abortion clinic, shoots a couple, kills the owner, shoots the doctor. A detective who's also a hostage negotiator ends up his daughter is at the clinic, and
Mm,
there's a lot of tension. The hard thing was that I was reading this while I was traveling, so it was hard to like really get into it because like I had to read it in bits and pieces. I really like Jodi Picoult. I really like her books. The only thing I didn't like about this, I mean, I kind of like the fact that it wasn't like preachy, like because she's very, very progressive, very liberal.
Mhm.
And it wasn't, she did portray both sides, I thought, pretty fairly, except for obviously, of course, the pro-lifer who was like killing
Mhm.
people. But I felt like it portrayed both sides. My only problem with it is at the end, there's like 5 or 6 different like storylines, and they don't all get wrapped up. You find
Oh.
out where one ends up, but the other ones, you don't really find out what happened to them
Mhm.
afterwards, and that was frustrating, kinda like, "Okay, well, what happened to
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
person or that person?" And I didn't feel like I didn't feel closure. I also hate
Mm.
that word, but,
Yeah.
sometimes it works. And then I listened to a couple audiobooks. I listened to Tom Lake, and I know, Sarah, you said you really liked this book, and
I read it, though, I did not listen to it, so I think that might make a difference.
I just
But
felt like it was a whole lot of pages of nothing happening.
yeah.
It was just I don't
I
know,
think
there
for me, because it takes place in Michigan,
right.
and
Yeah,
it was like the narrator, the woman, her daughter, well, she's an actress first, so
right.
that the Tom Lake is very reminiscent of Interlochen,
Okay.
like the, fine arts school in Northern Michigan. Um, Plus she went to Michigan State, her children go to Michigan State, they're in Traverse City, they own a cherry farm, like, it's very, very Michigan, but
Right, right, and I mean, it wasn't like actually, Meryl Streep narrated it,
yeah.
and
Ooh.
I did not really care for her narration. I don't
I
know.
feel like she's one of those people that always sounds like Meryl Streep.
Yes.
Like what book I was listening to one that was narrated by Diane Keaton after she passed, and I had the same kind of problem. Like the story was good, but I was like, I'm listening to Diane Keaton.
Right.
Like
Oh, I
I
felt like
couldn't
she was
not hear
just,
her.
like, so, like, modulated, and there wasn't, like, a whole lot of
Yeah.
because I guess when you're acting on stage
Yes.
on film
Yeah.
rather, you can use your facial expressions to convey. But
Yes.
when
Right.
you're doing an audiobook, you've got to convey it all in your voice. And I felt like it was just a little too modulated. There wasn't a whole lot
Yeah.
of ups and
Mhm.
downs. It was just very, I don't know. I
Mhm.
didn't love it.
I really loved the writing. Have you ever read any other Ann Patchett?
I haven't. No.
Bel Canto was really, really good, and
This is
it's
one of those ones I picked up. Same thing. Like I needed something to listen to on
yeah.
Libby, and this
Yeah.
came up. So, and I'd
Bel
seen a lot about it.
Canto is like 2001, came out a
Oh
long
wow.
time ago, and it's about a hostage situation,
Hmm.
like, in South America. Um, there's a revered soprano that's there, and basically, like, guerrillas, like
Yeah.
Guerrilla,
Yeah.
guerrillas.
Not yep. Not
They
the
come
animal.
in and take everyone hostage, and it's
Well,
very interesting friendships and things, and I feel like it was, like, loosely, maybe I'm totally wrong, loosely based on a true story or
could
something
be.
like that, but
Okay.
I remember that's why I read Tom Lake, because I had just read, Bel Canto probably 2 or 3 years prior, and I was like, "Ooh, this is really good." Like, her writing was really good,
Mhm.
but I could
Okay.
see how Tom Lake was kinda meh for somebody, because
Yeah. I mean, it's
there
just like
wasn't a lot that happens. There
yeah,
really
there was
isn't.
not really a plot. It's just kind of like this is our lives and
And it was the first book that I read that takes place during COVID.
during COVID. Yeah.
Because the
Oh,
reason her
okay.
kids are home from college is because of COVID,
Mhm.
Right.
and everything is shut down, so she finds her family together for the first time in many years, and so that was
And then she starts telling
interesting
them her
too.
life
Her life
of when
story.
she was
Yes.
in our town
Okay.
and
Yep.
and like you said, it wasn't she's telling her adult daughters her life story, that the things that they'd never heard about.
Yeah.
And she dated when she was younger, like this really famous action movie star, was in the same uh, what do you call it? It's a theater, but like regional theater, not
Regional
like
theater, yeah, it was
yeah.
like a
Mhm.
local theater that she did her first
And
role or whatever, and
I don't know, there's just it was like, okay, when's something gonna actually happen
yeah.
here? But
I know
again,
I remember when she was writing it too, because she's one that she travels to where she writes, and she
okay,
spent a lot of
Oh,
time in
nice.
Traverse
Yeah, yeah,
City,
yeah.
so people talked about the fact that she's a pretty big name author,
right.
um, so it was like, "Ooh, she's writing a book in Traverse City and staying here and all
Mhm.
this fun stuff,"
Well,
so
again, it wasn't like I mean, it wasn't like I hated it, it just
right.
I was like, "Oh." Okay. And then, of course, I listened to the Scorpio races, and I really loved the audiobook. I mean, it's been so long since I've read it, and sometimes I don't have the patience for rereading books. I know you guys are really into rereading books, but I feel like I
Just
have
the one.
well, Sarah rereads a lot,
I
though.
reread a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, it's like I have so little reading time and there's so many books I want to read. It's like rereading just irritates me. So I don't know that I would have gotten through it if I read it, but listening to it, it was like so pretty. And I thought the narrators were perfect. And I just picked up on so many things I forgot the first time through. And especially like we talked about some of the things we talked about in the podcast about how like the love story was so subtle, but so moving, you know, it was like, so really enjoyed listening to the audiobook. So I guess that's all I had for last month. So
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
I love that. I feel like we say this like almost every time where we're always like, oh, it's just like not like there wasn't as many memorable books or like I didn't read as much, but then we talked for a straight hour. Right? We like whatever it is that we've read, we're definitely gonna have some things to think about and talk about and connect to other things. Like,
and I don't know too if you've seen like that meme going around or something that the average person reads one book a year.
Oh my gosh, I'm definitely.
And we're like, I didn't read that much. I only read like.
I only read 5 books.
Right. Like and I think I texted earlier. I was like, it's a really slow month for me. 2 were rereads. Like, so that doesn't really count as like, because you can get like, I read them faster the second time through.
Right.
But like, we still have enough things to say that Sarah's going to have some editing to do.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So,
all right, moving on to our rapid fire questions.
Rapid fire.
Question number 1. What character do you want to go on a road trip with? Sarah?
I said Emma from the rom-commers. Number 1, she loves all rom-coms.
Yes,
I do too. And I feel like we would be kindred spirits on a road trip. Like we would have lots to talk about. Like, oh my gosh, do you love this movie? And what about this trope? And what's your favorite? I just feel like, and she's a very talented writer they talk about. So I think she would be very interesting. And then just her life in general, giving up her dream to take care of her father for so long. Just learning more about that. It'd be fun to take, she from Texas or something, to drive from Texas to California with her as she goes up to LA.
Well, Catherine Center, I think, is based out of Austin. So most of her books have take place in Austin. Or
I want to say that's where her dad lives, is Austin.
Yeah.
So
I said Nicholas from A Knight in Shining Armor. Mostly because I love the scene where they go to his like former home. And he's very salty about like how everything has changed and like all the like bad information that this very good tour guide is giving. He's like, that's not fucking true.
That doesn't happen.
My favorite part was he was like, I got to go get this thing from this room. And he just takes her on essentially what is a backstage tour of this castle because there's secret passageways and like hidden doors. And I would love to like, maybe not road trip because like homeboy don't know how to drive.
Right.
But like visit castles.
Horseback riding trail.
Yeah.
You could go via horseback to all the castles and
like he can show you all the like secret passages and like and even beyond that, like I love to listen to people talk about things that they are passionate about and like want to nerd out about. Yeah. And he is always wanting to tell her the real story. Like, here's what really happened and here's, how it went. I would want to hear all of that. So I think he would be like amazing to travel around with as like a tour guide. So that's who I picked. I picked Nicholas. How about you, Ma?
Okay, so I guess I would pick Thorne from The Great Outdoors. I mean, I don't know how much he likes to drive, but he's a guide on Adventure Track, so he would be able to show you like all the really beautiful places to go to. He would be able to fix things if they were broken. So I think I would pick him for sure. But I had a hard time with that one. I couldn't really think anybody I wanted to go on a road trip with. But I'll take him.
Take him.
Okay, what's our next?
Yeah. The next question is: Are there any places you would like to visit in any of these books? Sarah.
Well, I put in there, of course, Thisbe Island from
we're all answering the
Scorpio
same thing.
Races. I was like, that's like it's fictional, but I don't care. I want to.
Oh my God, we did all put it in there.
We did. Same reason. It's Celtic. It's a small town. I just want to be there. But so I was like, okay. So in addition, that's my fictional place, Alaska. I've always wanted to go to Alaska.
Me too.
That's where Bailey and Charlie are from. I want to do an Alaskan cruise sometimes. I think it'd be so amazing. And
I want to go to Brooks Falls and see all the bears at Katmai. Like, I really badly want to do that.
Yeah. I'm just fascinated by Alaska. So someday I will get up there. How about you, Ma?
I also picked Thisbe from the Scorpio Races because of it being Celtic. I remember, I got to go see the Kelpies the other day.
Yes. So jealous.
Yes.
Well, no, you wouldn't have been that jealous because Jerry was very grumpy because we had to backtrack. I'm like, but it's only like...
But it's the Kelpies.
It's only like 15...
It goes with my podcast.
It's only like 15 miles away. And he's like, yeah, but it's backwards from the way we're coming. And then it ends up, it is not like when you're driving that part of Scotland, nothing is like a straight line. It's like go 3/4 of a mile to the next roundabout, then take the second exit, drive 1/4 of a mile and take the first exit on the next roundabout. And it was like such a pain in the ass to get there, but they're really cool looking. But yeah, so I would pick Thisbe. The other place I would have picked was Toronto, mainly because
that's such a fun city.
In a little holiday fling. It takes place in Toronto, and part of the whole shtick in there is that the girl wants to move to, or the woman, I should say, wants to move to England. It's been always hers and her mom's dream to open like a hotel in England. And the grumpy lumberjack doctor that she met, his parents own a like high-end boutique hotel chain, and so she's trying to schmooze him for an in with his parents, and she takes what she does is she shows his nieces that he dotes on all these cool places in Toronto. And so I was like, oh, I want to go there. That sounds very cool. So that would be for me. So who didn't go yet? Was it you, Sarah? Were you, Kit?
I wrote, for the sake of variety, I'm going to pick Thisbe. I wrote that before you guys put your answers in there, and I was debating personally whether I wanted to pick Knight in Shining Armor again and go, overseas. And I was like, well, I was going to just talk about, a Knight in Shining Armor, so I got to pick something else. So I was like, for the sake of variety, I'm going to pick Thisbe, which you both already talked about. But specifically, I want to go to the beach. I want to see the horses come out of the water. Like, I have a very specific want on Thisbe. I want to see what that looks like.
First day when they come out.
Yeah, I have a visual in my head that's like beautiful and terrifying, and like, if you've ever, when you're traveling and you see something that like is dangerous, but also like gorgeous, and you get that feeling in your chest. And I feel like that's what it would be like to watch the horses come out. And so I very specifically would like to be on the beach the day they come out of the water.
Maggie has a painting. She did a painting of it.
Yes,
and I would love to buy that, like buy a print of it, of the horses coming out of the water.
Yeah. All right. Next question. I'm going to apologize in advance for my upcoming answer. So let's start with something that's not
a little
weird.
Scared. Oh, God.
What character do you want to have dinner with, Sarah?
Sticking with our theme.
Yep.
For a few reasons. I said Sean Kendrick from Scorpio Races, mostly because I'm a horse girl. And I just want to like talk to him about horses. Like, in addition to him being the best book boyfriend ever. But I want to be like, I'm so intrigued by how quiet he is around them. And like, but also I put, because I felt like that's so obvious, Finn from the Scorpio Races, because we had a lot of talk about him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In our episode 2. It's such an intriguing character that I think knows a lot more than what he lets on. And I would love to have those conversations with him about, do you know what's going on with your brother and sister?
Yeah. Like, are you
really know, or are you that in the dark? Yeah.
Are you willfully ignorant at this point?
Right. Or are
Or
you just,
and get like that back? And I'd like honestly distracted again. I would have dinner with almost everyone
in
in
Scorpio
that book. Like even Malvern. But like George Holly, like tell me all about it.
Didn't we talk about oh my gosh, Peg Grattan too from The Butcher?
Yeah.
She knows everything on the island. Like I want to have a conversation with her.
I think George Holly would be interesting.
George Holly would be interesting too. All right,
for sure.
Maryanne.
I would pick Ruby from A Little Holiday Fling. She's like bright and sunshiny. She likes bright colors and she likes posting pictures on Instagram. And so she takes Rashid is the grumpy doctor, takes him and his nieces to all these really cool places, and she's taking pictures and he's getting grumpy because she's taking pictures of their food before they eat it. But like all the Instagrammable places, and I think that she would just be a lot of fun to like go out and eat fun things with. So yes, I would pick Ruby because she just sounds like she's bright and sunshiny and interesting.
Yeah.
And Kit, so I guess we're to you, and I'm a little scared.
I read what it said.
I went the opposite direction, and there was no one, unless we're going to talk about the Scorpio races again, that I was like, I must have dinner with someone. So instead, I went with who I would absolutely not have dinner with. For a very specific reason, and it's the only food scene in any of the books that I read this month that stands out in any way.
Food.
Oh no, they eat it. So in the book Full Sack by Layla Faye, wherein Raccoon can grant wishes, the main character girl, Jen's family is out. I didn't keep writing Jess in here, but her name is Jen. They're out of their mind. They are horrible, horrible people. And they're like super mean to her. And the mom is like dissociating in the kitchen. And like the great aunt is like hitting on Raccoon. The brothers or the sister's like a religious zealot. Like the scenes are hilarious because they're like out of their ever loving minds.
Right.
But something happens. The cat is now back to life. Raccoon has done his due diligence and saved the cat. And the cat is like, I'm awake. I don't have cancer anymore. I'm going to eat this turkey. Goes into the kitchen, eats the turkey, and now there is no turkey. And the mom is like full meltdown mode. And Raccoon is like, I got you, boo. We can fix this.
God.
Let's go upstairs to the bedroom. So
oh, no.
things happen. If you've been listening to the podcast the whole time, you know how the turkey is manifested and what our friend Jen has to do.
Wow.
She has concerns. Let me tell you, and this is the only reason why it works, is because she is equally horrified. She's like, that you have inside germs that are going to get on this turkey.
Inside
I'm trying to be as PC as possible with this description.
Okay.
You have inside your body germs that are going to be on the outside of this turkey because as the turkey passes out of your
stuff. Yeah.
It happens, right? Hot buttered rum is her flavor of choice. So she's like, we can't feed this to my family. And he's like, we can, because there's skin on the turkey and the turkey is like mostly cooked, but you're going to continue to cook it a little bit and it's going to cook off all the germs. And she's like, I don't want that. And again, that's the only reason why this works is because she's like, what the fuck? But then she's hearing her mom lose her ever-loving mind downstairs. And she's like, which one of these is the lesser of two evils? So they make a turkey and they cook the turkey and the family eats the turkey. And in the process, she's still horrified and just goes, oh my God. I don't have like the exact quote, but she's like, oh my God, everyone, this turkey was made when I just gave him a BJ upstairs and he's magic and it came out of his sack. And they were all like, so funny. And don't believe her.
Oh my God.
So, the self-awareness that occurs in this book about like how insane the concept is, sells it. Because if it was trying to be serious, it would never work. I don't want to eat dinner with them. I don't want to have dinner with Raccoon and Jen and her family. That's an anti dinner. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
And I actually typed that. The last
No,
thing on my like little summary just says, no thanks.
That's so funny.
But I also, the way I wrote it, I was like amusing myself because I just wrote it as like a flow chart. The cat ruins the turkey. Jess's mom loses her shit. Raccoon offers to fix it. Jess gives him a BJ per ancient tradition so he can materialize a fully cooked turkey out of his full sack. The family eats that turkey. That's nope. No thanks. No thank you. So that's my answer to that question. So sorry to everybody involved, except Layla Faye. Well done, ma'am. Nice job.
Wow.
Way to come up with that concept. Highly recommend. Anyways, moving on. What's your top? We're going to go right to top recommendations for the month. What's your top recommendation for the month, Sarah?
My top was Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I feel like it was one of those books that just made me so happy when I finished, like just smiling that I was like, oh, loved it. So cute. Can't wait to read another one. Also, Lynn Painter, and somebody actually posted this on Instagram today about, because she just had a new book come out called Fake Skating, which I've not gotten yet, but she creates Spotify playlists for all her books because she talks about music a lot in there, especially because it's YA. And the playlists are fantastic. They're so good to listen to. So I pulled up Betting on You today and I was listening to her playlist of it. And it's just fun. Yeah, it's the songs that she and a lot of times her books will have the list in the back too of these are the songs that this is what was going on and this is what song was playing because music is very important to her characters. So
okay, who's up next?
You're next on the list, but you don't have anything written down. Do you want more time
I know.
to think?
I was going to say I'm going to say a little holiday fling by Farrah Heron. Just it was fun, happy, Christmassy. It was fun reading about people who celebrate Christmas just for the fun of it, not because of any religious obligation. Who just enjoy the lights and the tinsel and all of the other stuff just for the fun of it. So I would go with that one. And you, Kit?
I went with Blackthorn by J.T. Gessinger. I read it as ARC, but it is out now, and it's actually on Kindle Unlimited. So if you kind of like the dark gothic romance, like you can get it on Kindle Unlimited. I could talk a lot about this one because I just there's so much that happens in this book, and it's all woven together really well, which is really kind of my favorite. Is when I think I know what's happening, and then I'm like, I don't know what's happening, and then I do again, and then I don't. I like when the author manages to pull a lot of strings and then tie it all up in a nice little bow. And I also, the synopsis of it is what got me to, like, the little tagline is what got me to request it initially. Is in a town where the dead won't stay buried, is love salvation or the deadliest game at all? Because our two main characters have a very forbidden love kind of history. And then they've separated and now they're back in town after the death of a family member and all of these kind of like buried secrets and rivalries and like history keeps like dredging up and they're just so grumpy about it. But again, in the most hilarious way. So I really did enjoy this book. So that's the one I went with.
All right.
That's our stack of books for the month. Not as big as some other months, but still pretty solid.
Still, we are above average.
Above average. Do you ever see the thing where it's like most people only have 14 books in their house?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
look at Kit and I are.
And this is just like one, like the whole basement is full. There's like 1,500 books in this basement. And that's after I got rid of about 1,000. I have so many books and I'm like, wow.
I have a whole classroom library at school and I have another bookshelf in another room.
All right, speaking of books, speaking on the topic of books, what do we got coming up next?
Yeah, what are we currently?
Sarah, what you got?
I'm all about Christmas books in December. So I am reading The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmer. One of the, she's really hot with the fall books. Cinnamon Bun Store.
Oh, yeah.
Super cute little covers.
Yeah.
My book club wanted to read it this month.
Cute.
And so I'm reading that one. I'm listening to Grace and Henry's holiday movie marathon. I have Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey sitting in a pile behind me. And then, Ma, you read both of these, I think. Love Light.
Yes, Love Light Farms and
And
In
then
the
what was
Weeds.
the other one? Yeah,
The second
yeah.
one's In the Weeds, and I've got the third one
I
on.
have Kindred Spirits is by her, I think.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
a
what it
new
is?
one. That's
That's
like
the new one.
yeah,
So I
that's one
bought
about like an Irish ghost or something. I haven't
yes.
remembered that one yet.
So I bought that one because it's holiday too. So those are my
Is it okay? But I like Love Light
hopefully.
Farms and In the Weeds a lot. Those
Yeah,
are
I
very
thought that
cute.
you did. So I was like,
Yeah.
that's what I went to the store and I was like, Christmas book shopping.
For
It's like
me.
Hallmark movies. I was like, I need
Yeah.
Christmas, and I have a whole bunch like
Oh,
set for my audio that I want to listen to as
Nice.
well. So
I read an arc back in a couple months ago that was really cute, talking about Hallmark movies, where this woman like wakes up in a Hallmark movie.
you did. We
And
talked about that,
Yeah.
didn't we?
yes,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. I think it's because I'm pretty sure it's out now, and but it was really cute.
Reading now.
I am reading Skipping Christmas by John Grisham for my
Oh,
book
I've read
club.
that one.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm so far not impressed,
Yeah.
but
He's
I
not a
don't know.
Christmas author, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's right. I don't. I also don't like was it third person omniscient, like where the
oh
narrator
yeah,
Yeah.
could tell you what everybody's
everything.
thinking.
Yeah.
I don't really like that much, but the writing is just like really super like simplistic or something.
So I'm reading one of
Oh,
my
that's
coworkers, John, recommended the book Centennial by James Michener. And if you've read any of his other books, they are dense, they are hefty. And it was written in like the 70s, but it's fiction, but it includes like the most insane amount of research
yeah.
possible to
Oh,
make,
yeah.
because it's written about real places. And it's set in Centennial, Colorado, and it has tons of maps and like diagrams and stuff, which I love. And it's all about kind of the history of the area, but it includes like the history of digging for dinosaurs and like how the rocks were formed and like the beavers in the river. Like it includes literally everything, which I love and also hate a little bit. The writing is amazing, but the level at which I get distracted, astounding. Because I was reading it this morning and they were talking about Clovis arrows that were found in northern Colorado at a specific dig site. And like the author in the book is doing research on the area. Not the author of the book, but the
Author
main
that's in the
character is
book,
an
yeah.
author in the book, and he's helping a newspaper or journal do research on the area. And he's researching these arrows. So now I'm researching these arrows because I have to stop reading and I got to see where these arrows
Yeah.
were found so that I can now drive 40 minutes up to Soapstone and look at the cliff where these arrows were found. Like this book I'm going to be talking about this book in March because it is massive. First of all, it's like 500 some odd pages long. And this is going to happen every day. Where like, I'm going to be like, ooh, that's a real thing. And I could go there and let me go look about it. Like, and then my coworker, John, is also someone with like a history degree and like tons of just like knowledge in his head about history. And we got to talking about reading books, and like I was telling him that we had the podcast, and he's like, have you read this book? And I was like, no, I haven't. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot like that this author existed.
It existed, yeah.
And I requested it from the library. I requested it twice, once through Libby, and then I also requested the hard copy because I feel like for this book I really want to like sit with the book.
Pull it up and yeah.
So I'm reading the digital copy now, and then when it's my turn with the hard copy, I'll switch over. But it's very good. And I'm only like 20% in. And you guys know I read very fast, so it's going to be a minute.
That's
but
right.
on to everybody's favorite portion of this podcast. And by everybody, I mean me.
Okay.
It's time to pick my newest unhinged read. And I have 3 choices, as tradition dictates. Let me open the right window. And because it's December, we're going to go holiday theme.
Oh, God.
Okay.
So we have our choices with no context. The Krampus's first Christmas gift.
Oh.
Aww.
Even the Krampus gets a Christmas gift.
Yes. Christmas with a Chimera, a cozy fantasy Christmas romance novella from Clawhaven. And Frost, a monstrous Christmas novella. I'm surprised a little bit at Kindle Unlimited's lack of like very inappropriate sounding Christmas books.
Right.
Maybe
they sound all kind of normal. Like,
oh wait, I found one. Hold on. We're gonna add one. We're gonna add two more. I'm so sorry. As I'm scrolling, The Stocking Stuffer, claimed by the Incubus.
Oh,
a steamy
wait.
Christmas monster romance short read, The Naughty North Pole, Book 1, and this is from the Kloss series, Book 1. Kloss, The Legend of the Fat Man. That one's not a choice because it's not a romance, but I just like the title. That's just a straight sci-fi fantasy adventure, but Kloss. And it's for ages 8 and up, so definitely not
unhinged, yeah.
So yes, so your choices are Stocking Stuffer.
wow.
The Krampus's first Christmas gift.
I think you need to go with the Incubus, though.
I know that one.
Yeah,
Because you had the one. There was the one. The hot
Christmas with
tub.
a chimera, but I was like, that's
Yeah.
very Beauty and the
And
Beast. That
that
seems
is.
very.
It might be. We might have to go with the Stocking Stuffer. I'm also looking at the authors, all of her other books.
These two do not have
many books.
They do not have any bad. Well, they have some bad reviews, but people didn't write like. People are like, it's a cozy little Christmas story.
Right. Like, I'm like, maybe it's not going to be as
I
her
might
other
have to
books
read
are
one.
like,
I'm a little a slightly different concept for a story, but it works.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Really? Her other books are like very like claimed by the Forest Reaper.
Right.
Craved by the Kraken Warlord. Chased by a feral dragon. And then she's just hanging out with the Incubus in my supply closet.
Somebody said, this book was a pleasant change from the author's previous works.
I saw
but
that.
no less spicy. It may be Halloween, but it looks like the holiday season is starting early.
So we'll
I was
read
like,
that one.
oh, okay.
See how it goes.
Yeah,
I'm
very
guessing
curious.
it's not going to be as insane as the
as
last
insane.
one I read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is my guess. Because I don't think nothing's really going to top. I've only read a few that I was like, what in fresh hell is happening right now?
I know.
Full Stack is one of them. The Scarecrow's Queen is another one. But I read that before we started.
Before we started the whole conversation.
I'll have to bring it back because it's a wild one. It's
a
wild one. On that note,
we have chosen your next crazy read. So.
Yes.
Which one we decide on?
We're going with the Stocking Stuffer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds the most Christmassy.
Claimed by the Incubus. And the last Incubus book I read is sitting right next to me and is one of my favorite books that I've read all year. So maybe this one will align with, there's an Incubus in my hot spring.
The fact that you have a physical copy of that is saying something.
Love it.
So.
I was like, this one goes on the shelf. It's
all right.
All right.
Well, I guess that's probably going to do it for us, huh?
Yeah. That's it. That's it for the books we've read.
For the books we've read this month, of course. If you have not listened to last month's book club episodes, Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater, you need to. Because if you want to see how passionate we can actually be about a book and an author.
Yes.
Oh, we're crazy about that one.
That's the one.
So, next month, this month, December, we are featuring Grace and Henry's Holiday Movie Marathon by Matthew Norman. And we'll be talking, of course, not just about the book, but some of our favorite holiday movies. I don't know about you two, but Hallmark is pretty much on in my house 24/7 right now.
Yeah.
Or Netflix, because they've got some good holiday movies.
Don't forget to follow our socials, subscribe to the podcast, and please leave us a review. We want to know what you think.
And let us know if there's a book that you'd like us to read or feature or just add to our never-ending to-be-read pile because we want to read them all. Every last one.
Sure.
Or be buried underneath them when we go.
Definitely. So until next time, keep reading.
Keep exploring.
And don't forget to pack the snacks.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it. That's all.
The Christmas
We
snacks right now.